Luxury is not about quality. That sentence alone makes an entire industry uncomfortable. Because for decades, luxury brands have trained us to believe that higher price automatically means higher craftsmanship. But that belief is an illusion. Yes, some luxury items are well made, but so are many products that cost a fraction of the price. The real difference isn't quality, it's meaning. Luxury brands don't sell better products, they sell status. To understand this, we have to rewind not to factories, but to psychology. In the early 1900s, luxury wasn't about mass aspiration, it was about separation. Luxury existed to mark distance between classes, between insiders and outsiders, between those who belonged and those who didn't, and that function has never changed. Today, luxury brands claim their prices reflect craftsmanship, heritage, and tradition. But when you strip away the storytelling, the numbers tell a very different story. A luxury handbag that sells for €3,000 often costs less than €300 to produce. Sometimes far less. The leather isn't rare. The stitching isn't revolutionary. The labor is often outsourced quietly. In fact, many luxury goods are produced using the same industrial techniques as mid-range brands. The difference is not how the product is made, but how it is perceived. Luxury brands understand something fundamental about human behavior. People don't buy expensive things to feel rich. They buy them to be seen as successful. Luxury operates as a social language, a silent one. It tells the world who you are, or more importantly, who you're trying to be. This is called status signaling, and it's one of the most powerful economic forces ever created. Because once status enters the equation, price stops being a barrier and becomes the point. A high price doesn't repel customers, it filters them. It turns the product into a test, and passing that test feels like winning. Luxury brands don't ask, is this worth the money? They ask, who deserves access? That's why logos matter. A logo is not decoration, it's a declaration. It tells everyone around you that you paid more than necessary and survived it. That's not irrational, it's evolutionary. Humans have always used symbols to signal rank. Luxury brands simply monetized it. And once they realized this, quality became optional. Because in luxury economics, perception outperforms performance. This is why brands can raise prices during economic downturns and still sell out. The product didn't improve, the story did. But here's where the system becomes truly unsettling. If luxury were only about status, anyone with enough money could buy it. And that would destroy the illusion. So luxury brands needed something stronger than price, something more effective than quality. They needed control over access, control over supply, control over who gets in and who stays out. And that's where the real product of luxury begins. Because in the world of high-end brands, nothing is more valuable than scarcity. Hermes could make more Birkin bags tomorrow. They choose not to. That single decision explains everything you need to know about luxury economics. Because the Birkin bag is not rare by necessity. It is rare by design. Hermes has the capital, the factories, the demand. If this were about supply and demand, production would increase. Prices would stabilize. But luxury doesn't obey normal market rules. Because in luxury, scarcity is the product. The Birkin is never displayed with a price. It's never available online, and you can't simply walk in and ask for one. Instead, you're told to build a relationship. Spend first, wait patiently, prove loyalty. This isn't retail, it's initiation. Hermes doesn't sell Birkin bags. It distributes status selectively, and every no makes the eventual yes feel earned. Psychologically, this is devastatingly effective, because humans value what feels difficult to obtain. Scarcity triggers desire, waiting intensifies attachment, and uncertainty transforms objects into obsessions. That's why resale Birkin bags often sell for more than retail. The bag didn't change, the story did. Rolex uses the same playbook. Officially, Rolex claims shortages are due to quality control. But here's the truth: Rolex produces over 1 million watches a year. There is no technical reason for a 3-year waitlist. Yet authorized dealers insist there's nothing available unless you're a preferred client. Buy other models, build history, show commitment. Just like Hermes, access must be earned. And once again, the rejection is the hook. Because when everyone is denied, acceptance becomes intoxicating. Luxury brands understand a brutal psychological truth. If everyone can buy it, it stops being luxury. Scarcity protects the hierarchy. At the top, those who wait, spend, and comply. At the bottom, everyone else watching. This is not accidental, it's engineered. By limiting supply, brands control desire. By controlling desire, they control pricing. And by controlling pricing, they control perception. Luxury scarcity isn't about inventory, it's about power. The power to decide who belongs and who doesn't. But scarcity alone isn't enough, because for this system to scale globally, brands needed something else. They needed the world to desire luxury for them. They needed faces, moments, icons, people who could wear the product and make millions feel excluded by default. That's when luxury stopped advertising and started orchestrating culture. And in the next chapter, we expose how luxury brands turn celebrities into unpaid salesmen and status into the most efficient marketing machine ever built. Luxury brands don't market to you. They weaponize other people against you. That sounds extreme. But once you see it, it becomes impossible to ignore. Because the most powerful luxury marketing never comes from billboards, ads, or commercials. It comes from comparison. Luxury brands understand a brutal human truth. People don't want objects, they want position. And the fastest way to create desire is to make people feel left behind. This is where status engineering begins. Luxury brands don't sell equality. They sell exclusion, not loudly, not directly, but systematically. At the center of this system is what insiders call the luxury pyramid. At the very bottom, entry-level luxury. Sunglasses, wallets, perfumes. These products are not designed for the wealthy. They're designed for aspiration. They're affordable enough to reach millions, but expensive enough to feel symbolic. This is the first taste. Above that, the core luxury tier. Items that signal success, stability, arrival. And at the very top, ultra-elite luxury. Products that are never advertised, never displayed, never explained. You don't see these items because you're not meant to. Their invisibility is the signal. This structure creates a constant upward pull. Buy one piece, and you become aware of the next level. This is not accidental, it's psychological choreography. Luxury brands keep you climbing, never arriving. And the fuel that powers this climb is insecurity. Status anxiety is the fear of falling behind socially. It's not about greed, it's about belonging. In modern society, luxury brands replace tribes. They signal who's inside and who's not. That's why people stretch budgets, go into debt just to participate. The purchase isn't about joy. It's about relief. Relief from feeling invisible. Relief from being judged. Luxury brands don't promise happiness. They promise acceptance. And once this anxiety is established, the brand no longer needs to advertise, because people do it for them. Celebrities, athletes, artists. Not paid spokespeople, but walking proof of status. Every appearance reinforces the hierarchy. If they wear it, maybe I should too. This is social control without force. Luxury brands don't shout, they curate silence. Less they explain, the more powerful they become. And behind this entire system, someone is pulling the strings. Not designers, not celebrities, but corporate architects. There is one man who mastered this model better than anyone alive. A man who didn't just understand luxury, but industrialized it. Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi, Givenchy. He didn't sell products. He consolidated desire, and in the next chapter, we reveal how Bernard Arnault built the most powerful luxury empire in history by turning status into a system. Every empire has an architect. In luxury, that architect has a name, Bernard Arnault. Inside the industry, he's known by another title, the Wolf in Cashmere. Not because he designs clothes, not because he creates art, but because he hunts companies and strips them for power. Arnault didn't build his empire by loving fashion. He built it by understanding leverage. In the 1980s, a failing French textile company called Boussac was collapsing. It owned several dying brands. Most people saw rubble. Arnault saw Dior. He bought the entire company not to save it, but to extract what he wanted. Then he did something that defined his reputation forever. He fired over 9,000 employees, sold off the remaining assets, and kept Dior. This wasn't cruelty. It was efficiency. Arnault wasn't building a fashion house. He was building a machine. Today, That machine is called LVMH, Louis Vuitton MOT Hennessy. It is the largest luxury conglomerate in human history. Over 75 brands. Fashion, watches, jewelry, perfume, wine. On the surface, these brands look independent. Different designers, different stories, different aesthetics, but behind the curtain, they answer to the same boardrooms, the same financial targets. This is not a family of artisans. It's a corporate monopoly. Arnault's genius was realizing something the industry didn't want to admit. Luxury brands don't need creative freedom. They need operational control. So when LVMH acquires a heritage brand, the name stays, the story stays, but everything underneath changes. Supply chains are centralized. Manufacturing is optimized. Executives trained in elite finance, not fashion, are installed. Margins increase, costs drop. Creativity becomes a tool, not the mission. This is how tech monopolies operate. And LVMH functions the same way. Acquire competitors. Preserve the illusion of choice. Dominant shelf space. Dominant attention. Control desire at scale. To the consumer, it feels organic. To shareholders, it's surgical. Luxury at this level is no longer about aspiration, it's about extraction. Extraction of value, extraction of identity, extraction of culture itself. And Bernard Arnault didn't just when the luxury came. He rewrote it. But here's the darkest part. The more powerful this machine becomes, the less visible it is. Luxury still feels personal, still feels emotional. But it's no longer designed for you, it's designed for shareholders. And that raises a final, uncomfortable question. If luxury is a corporate system built to concentrate wealth, manufacture insecurity, and control desire, who is it really serving? And what does it cost the rest of us to keep believing in the illusion? Luxury was never about the product. That may be the most difficult truth to accept. Because once you understand it, everything looks different. Luxury today is not craftsmanship. It is not heritage. And it is no longer even aspiration. Luxury is a financial instrument, a system designed to generate predictable, compounding returns for shareholders. And to do that, it needs two things: endless desire and controlled access. The product itself is almost irrelevant. What matters is what it represents. Status, distance, hierarchy. Luxury brands don't sell things. They sell distance. Distance between who you are and who you feel you're supposed to be. This distance is where profit lives. For the ultra-wealthy, luxury is invisible. They don't queue. They don't wait. They don't display. Their status doesn't need validation. But for the middle class, luxury is loud. It whispers promises. If you buy this, you move closer. Closer to success. Closer to relevance. Closer to being seen. And that's the trap. Because the distance never closes. Every purchase simply reveals another gap, another tier, another upgrade, another symbol you don't yet own. This is not accidental. It is how the system sustains itself. Luxury thrives on permanent dissatisfaction. Enough pleasure to keep you engaged, but never enough fulfillment to let you stop. And while consumers chase symbols, the real value flows upward. Into conglomerates, into holding companies, into shareholder portfolios. The illusion remains beautiful. But the economics are cold. This doesn't make luxury evil. It makes it honest once you're willing to see it clearly. The danger isn't buying luxury. The danger is believing it will make you whole. Because luxury does not sell happiness. It sells comparison. It doesn't promise arrival. It promises pursuit. This is the gilded truth. Behind the craftsmanship, behind the scarcity, behind the celebrities and the empires, luxury is a system. One designed to monetize identity, extract desire, and turn insecurity into revenue. And understanding that system doesn't mean rejecting it. It means seeing it for what it is so it no longer controls you. If you want to understand the hidden systems that run our world, join us at Gilded Truth. We have much more to uncover.